welcome. I'm Inger, she is Rosie, and this is Be Free Yoga. We're so glad you joined us today. This is a 1-hour Vinyasa Flow Yoga class designed for all levels. Just modify based on your fitness level, any injuries you might have, and how you're feeling today, because every day is different and every body is different. If you like practicing with no music or with your own music, you're in the right place. If you prefer to practice with my carefully curated playlist, you can find these same classes on my website, www.befreeyogaAustin.com. And that's B with 2 E's, like the bumblebee. Also there you will find a relaxing guided meditation and written reflections on the weekly topic to help you on your spiritual path. Enjoy your practice today, and thank you so much for joining us. Hello, welcome to Be Free Yoga. My name is Inger, and this is my support dog, Rosie. And today's class is on impermanence. Impermanence tends to be a source of fear for a lot of us, but it can actually be a source of comfort and inspiration when we quit resisting it. Thich Nhat Hanh said, "Thanks to impermanence, everything is possible." So in honor of this theme, our class today is going to be inspired by the phases of the moon. Instead of having 1 or 2 short flows that we repeat a few times, it's one long flow. We'll be moving through it kind of slowly and deliberately, and the majority of class will be facing me. So today, orient your mat sideways like mine is. The only thing you need to know is that if you look to your left, this will be considered the top of your mat. The other side is the bottom of your mat. This long side facing me is the front of your mat, and the part behind you is the back of your mat. I will try and cue you so that you mirror me when we are facing each other. You'll need 2 blocks, maybe have them at the front of your mat so you can reach them. And the playlist today is all music from the 90s to remind us that even music and musical tastes are impermanent. So when you're ready, come down to corpse's pose, lying on your back on your mat. Work your shoulder blades underneath your back and turn your palms up to the sky. Get heavy in your bones. Let go of everything that's happening outside this room and bring yourself fully here. Contemplate impermanence as it relates to your body. We are all born, we all grow old, and we all die. Because we don't know the timing of our eventual demise, each moment gains a preciousness, a magical quality. Start to focus on your exhales. And exhale is the last act you will take here on earth. Just let go of attachment, control with each out breath. Grow your breaths longer and deeper. And then on your next inhale, take a long good morning stretch, arms overhead, point your toes. And exhale, bend your knees, hold the back of your thighs, and rock and roll up to a seat. Face the front of your mat, me, in an easy seat. There are 4 levels of pranayama practice. The first one is just breath awareness. The second one is breath control, where we regulate the duration of the inhales and the exhales. The third is breath retention, where we pause at the top of our breath or the bottom of our breath. And the final, most advanced one is alternate nostril breathing. Today we'll practice one of these more advanced techniques with left nostril breath. Breathing through our left nostril stimulates our creative, emotive, feminine side, which is the energy of the moon. Start by bringing your right hand, we're not mirroring each other now, you'll need to use your right hand in front of your face. And allow your pointer and middle finger to lightly rest on third eye center. Then you can use your thumb to plug your right nostril. And take 3 deep inhales and exhales through your left nostril. And release. Nice. Open your eyes. Inhale, let's circle our arms up, create the shape of the full moon. Prayer hands at the top. Press your palms together. Interlock your thumbs. Lengthen, find space in your shoulders. Reach higher. And then exhale, draw a big circle as you lower your arms back down. We're going to do that 3 times. Flip your palms up. Full moon. Prayer hands at the top, lengthen. And then lower. We're warming up our shoulders. Back up to the top. Lengthen. And open. Create your full moon one more time. And then exhale, side bend to the right. To the top of your mat, which is your left. Place your left hand on the mat, let your elbow hover, and reach to the top of your mat. Open your shoulder, look past your armpit. Feel a nice stretch. Then on your inhale, rise up and sway to the back end of your mat. Side bend in the opposite direction. Keep your shoulders open to the front. Inhale, rise back up. We're going to do it again. Go a little lower. Let your left elbow come all the way down onto your mat. Press your opposite knee down so you stay grounded in your hips. Look up. And then side bend to the bottom of your mat. Elbow all the way down this time. Lower your opposite knee. Look up. Inhale, rise up. We're going to go one more time. Reach even further out. Lower your elbow. And to the bottom of your mat. Inhale, rise up. Bring your hands behind you, fingers pointing back. And just ground down through your knees. Hover your hips. Look up to the sky. Big breath in. Lower your hips. Circle your arms back and up. And then forward fold. Bow down. Maybe your forehead can rest on the floor. Work your hands forward. Find length in both side bodies. On your next inhale, rise up with control. Circle your arms back. And hover your hips again. 3 times again, lots of 3s today. Forward fold. Inhale up. Exhale, hands behind you. Inhale, hover. Exhale, lower. Circle your arms up and forward fold. Inhale, rise up and release your arms to your side. Come into tabletop facing the top of your mat. Wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. We're going to do one-sided tabletop dancer. This is a real balance challenge. So you can modify this any way you want. Send your left leg back. Ground down into your right hand. And then send your left hand forward so we're working with the same side. And once you feel steady, bend your back leg, grab your foot, and kick into your hand. If you tip over, no problem, just come back. One more inhale. Exhale, lower it down. Whew. Come back into tabletop. Left hand high, open twist, and thread the needle. And bring your left cheek and shoulder to the mat. Press your left foot down, and then send your right leg diagonally back. This is optional. To lift your leg, see what works for you today. Really firing up our stabilizer muscles. One more inhale. Lower it down. Inhale, open twist, left arm high. And exhale into tabletop. Whew, other side. Right leg back. Root into your left hand, press your toenails down. Then send your right arm forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend your back leg. Reach back with your hand. Capture your foot or your ankle. Have a drishti here, a point of focus to help you balance, slow and controlled. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Whew. Send your right arm high, open twist. Exhale, thread the needle. Send your right arm underneath the arch of your body. Bring your right cheek and shoulder to the mat. And then send your left leg back and up diagonally. Point your toe, keep your lifted leg active. Stay connected to your breath. One more inhale. Exhale, lower your knee. Come back up through your open twist. And bring both hands to the mat. Tabletop, tuck your toes. And exhale into downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs. Press your chest low. Then we're going to circle our hips, actually our whole body. Come through plank and circle back to down dog. 3 times in the first direction and 3 times in the other direction. Don't rush it. How big can you make your circle? Imagine the full moon energy as you do this. Full of activity. Move with your own breath. When you finish your last one, meet in down dog. Then look to the top of your mat and take tiny steps forward for ragdoll. Feet hip width distance apart. Hold opposite elbows to shift your weight forward. Bend your knees. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. And release your hands. Toe heel your feet together. Slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Roll your shoulders at the top. And come into Samastitihi, hands at heart center. Today on your mat, practice getting comfortable with the idea of impermanence. Notice you might feel an intense sensation, have intense thoughts or feelings during one posture, and how the very next posture might feel completely different to you. Try and get comfortable with the idea that the exertion and intensity might come back, knowing that you'll be in a place of rest before too long. Take a full inhale. Exhale, release your hands, open your eyes. Come to stand at the bottom of your mat. It's the right side to you, facing me. Arms at your sides. Press down to grow taller. And just imagine a full moon all around you with you at the center. All your energy is just radiating outward, filling up that space. On the inhale, circle your arms up. Take your prayer hands, interlock your thumbs just like we did when we were seated. Lengthen and circle them down. I'll do it 3 times. Keep your arms really active. Prayer hands lengthen and lower. Nothing is rushed today. Everything in its own time. Lengthen and release. The next time you go up, take a steeple grip. Interlace all your fingers. Release your pointers. Big breath in. Lift your chin, biceps by your ears. Exhale, side bend to the top of your mat. Lengthen through your lat, your armpit, your shoulder. Keep both shoulders facing forward. And let your hips move to the bottom of your mat. Big breath in. Exhale, tip your top shoulder forward and lean into it even more. Then on the inhale, open your shoulders back up and come through the center. Other side, creating a crescent moon with our body now. Side bend towards the bottom of your mat. Top shoulder open. Lean your hips to the top of your mat. Exhale, fold your top shoulder forward. And inhale, open it back up. And come up through center. Release your grip. Lift your inside leg into one-legged mountain. It's your left. Flex your foot. Strong mountain arms. Big breath in. Exhale, figure 4. Cross your ankle over your thigh. Bring your hands to your heart. Bend your standing leg. You can stay right here, making sure you have good posture, relax shoulders. You could take a forward fold, or you can join me In lowering down, bring your forearms to your shin. Imagine you have a bucket of water between your legs and you don't want to spill a drop. Work to level out that water level. Keep your spine long. Remember to breathe. Notice the sensations, knowing they'll pass. And on your next inhale, press down to rise up and come back through your one-legged mountain. Level hips, flexed foot, big breath in. Exhale, goddess pose. Step open towards the top of your mat. Point your toes to the corners of the long edge of your mat and flatten your hands to the sky. Roll onto the outside edges of your feet and draw your knees and elbows behind you. Call on the power of the goddess. Stay connected to your breath. Maybe sink your hips lower. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Pivot your toes in, parallel your feet. Straighten your legs and fold forward into a wide-legged forward fold. Lengthen through the back seams of your legs and shift your weight forward. Pivot your heels in. And then swan dive up, circle your arms, come back through star. And exhale, half moon to the front of your mat. Pivot your toes, shift your weight forward into your left foot, and grab a block to help you balance. Try and stack your hands and shoulders in one line. Find a point to focus on and find your internal focus as well. Open your top hip and shoulder. Maybe you float your hand off your block. This is half moon. Really feel the moon energy. One more inhale. Exhale. Step it back. Warrior two. So strong. Now straighten your front leg and exhale into triangle. Reach forward and down. Arms and shoulders in one line. Use your bottom obliques to lift and lengthen your spine. Then rotate your shoulders, sash your hips back. One more big breath in. Exhale, pyramid pose, fold down. Have both blocks nearby so you can frame your front foot. Pivot your toes to the top of your mat. Back toes point to 10 or 11 o'clock. Back heel grounded down, front leg straight. Send your right hip back and down. Your left hip back and down. Lengthen your spine. And fold deeper. If you'd like to deepen the stretch for the back of your leg, take one block at a 45-degree angle and place it under your front foot. This is a great stretch for runners. Taps into your hamstrings and your calf even more. Send your breath where you feel tightness. Don't resist it. One more inhale. Exhale, release, remove your block from under your foot and step back to a low lunge. Inhale, crescent moon. Lower your back knee, reach high. Walk your front foot forward and out. Sink your hips low. Strong, active arms, palms face each other. Wrap your shoulder blades around the sides of your body. Big inhale. Exhale, half splits. Straighten your front leg. You can bring back your blocks. Traction your front heel back towards you, drawing your left femur into your hip socket. Lengthen on the inhale and deepen on the exhale. Check in with your front foot or your toes pointed up. Then on your next inhale, plant your front foot. Come back up through crescent moon. Sink your hips even lower. Big breath in. Exhale, full splits. You might want your blocks on the high setting. And then work your front foot forward. However works for you. Flex it again. Now you'll see my weight is between my legs. Option to take one block on the tall setting and place it underneath your front thigh for a little support. You can use your other block for balance. Then try and send your hips both towards the top of your mat. Slow, deep breaths. This too shall pass. I love doing this because sometimes I feel like full splits are so far out of my reach, but here we can practice them with a little help from our friends, the blocks. And one more breath in. Exhale, release. Come back into your crescent moon. On the inhale, just work your foot back. And then exhale into half pigeon. Parallel your front shin with the top of your mat as much as you can. Point your back toes to the bottom of your mat. Lift up, reach your heart forward, and then exhale, come into sleeping pigeon. You can rest your forehead on a block or your mat. Send your right hip forward, your left hip back, and then relax. Let gravity do the work. We are fragile creatures, and it is from this weakness, not despite it, that we discover the possibility of true joy. Desmond Tutu. Watch where your mind goes as you rest here. Try and stay really present. Release all the muscular energy in your hips. Release any tightening in your hands or your face. On your next inhale, rise up onto your hands. Bend your back leg and reach back with your opposite hand and capture your foot for a quad stretch. Draw your heel towards your glute. Can't reach your foot? No problem. You're still doing pigeon. Slow, deep breaths. One more inhale. And release. Walk your hands forward. And bring your weight onto your left knee. Center your hands under your shoulders. We'll do some tricep push-ups here. Grasshopper your elbows back. Tip your heart forward and lift your back foot. Inhale up. Gonna do 5 of these. Exhale, tip forward. Keep your lifted leg active. 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. Lower both knees and come to standing on your shins for camel. Bring your hands to your lower back, fingers pointing down. Open your elbows behind you. Then trace your gaze up the wall and onto the ceiling as you bend back. Support yourself with your glutes and your abs. You can stay here. Widen your knees a little bit if you're just learning camel. And you can come down, hands on your heels, if that's in your practice. Spread through your collarbones. One more inhale here. Exhale, thunderbolt pose. Bring your knees together. Sit on your heels. One hand to your heart. Other fingertips touch the ground. Just a minute ago, we were in camel, feeling all the camel things. Now we're catching our breath, grounding down, and experiencing that. One more breath in here. Open your eyes, release your hands, walk forward into tabletop. And then tuck your toes and move into down dog. Press your hands forward and down to lift your hips up and back. Now we're going to do our circle. Circle 3 times in each direction. Involve your whole body and come all the way through plank. Make it an exploration. Doesn't have to look a particular way. How can you feel the fullness of this circle more? Keep it slow. When you've finished all of your circles, meet in down dog. Then inhale, send your left leg high. Level your hips, big breath in. Exhale, low lunge, step it through. Open twist to the back of your mat, left arm high. If your left hip came up, lower it back down. Rotate your shoulders, big breath in. Exhale, Skandasana. Walk your hands to the front of your mat and bend your top leg. Extend your bottom leg towards the bottom of your mat and outwardly rotate your thigh as you flex your foot. Maybe in Skandasana your heel's on the floor, maybe it isn't. You can use a block to help you balance. Keep pushing down into your grounded foot so that your pelvic floor is engaged, you're active. Maybe you bring one hand to your heart. Maybe you play with bringing both hands to your heart. Ooh. Stay here for a couple more breaths. And then we're going to start walking our hands to the bottom of our mat. Bring your blocks along. And we'll take Skandasana at the bottom of our mat. Rotate your thigh towards your face. Flex your extended leg. You can always take a side lunge. You don't have to come down this far. Just send your hips back if you're in a side lunge. Some days you'll balance, some days you won't. I don't understand it. One more inhale. Exhale. Release your hands and walk to the bottom of your mat in low lunge. Open twist. Right arm high. Send your right hip down. Big breath in, rotate your shoulders a little bit more. And exhale back into low lunge. Inhale, crescent moon. Lower your back knee and rise up. You can widen your stance to make more space for your hips to sink low. Chin lifted. Take one more full inhale. Exhale, half splits. Straighten your front leg. Send your left hip down, your right hip down and back. Point your toes skyward. Notice how you feel about moving slowly. Are you in a rush? On your next inhale, come back through your crescent moon. Hips go low as you reach high. Exhale, full splits. Get to do it on the other side. Work your front leg forward. Option for a block under your front thigh. Now center both hips towards the bottom of your mat. Have good posture. Lengthen your neck, relax your shoulders. Remember, everything in this class is optional. If you're not here yet, you could stay in your half splits. Couple more breaths here. And then work your foot back flat on the ground. Come up through your crescent moon. And exhale into half pigeon. Parallel your front shin with the bottom of your mat. Point your other toes towards the top of your mat. Level your hips, lengthen your spine, and then exhale down into your sleeping pigeon. On the inhales, you can draw your thighs towards each other, and then on the exhales, release and sink your hips lower. Pema Chodron has a great quote about trying to solve things in impermanence. In life, we think that the point is to pass the test or overcome the problem. The real truth is that things don't get solved. They come together for a time, and then they fall back apart. And then they come together, and they fall apart again. It's just like that. Personal discovery and growth come from letting there be room for all of this to happen. Take one more inhale and one more exhale. Rise up onto your hands for your active pigeon. Option to take the quad stretch, bend your back leg. Reach back with your opposite hand and grab your foot. Draw your heel towards your glute. One more inhale. Release your foot. Then walk your hands forward until you're balancing on your front knee. Spread your fingers wide, active lifted leg. And then exhale, take your tricep. Push up, teeter-totter, and come up. Point your toe. Elbows point back. We're doing 5 of these. Remember to breathe. 4 and 5. Rise up. Come to stand on your shins. We get to do camel again. Lucky us. Hands on your lower back. Draw your elbows behind you. Let your hips move forward as you look up. You can stay here, or you can lower back, grab your heels. Rainbow your heart and belly up. Press down into your knees. One more inhale. Rise up the way you went in. Bring your knees together and sit on your heels. Take a moment to ground again. One hand on your heart, other fingers on the ground. Slow, deep breaths. One more inhale. Release your hands, open your eyes, come into tabletop. Tuck your toes and exhale into down dog. Circle it 3 times in each direction. You got it now. Your body knows what to do. When you finish your last circle on your last side, meet in down dog. Then send your right leg high. Full breath in, level hips, press into your hands. Exhale, low lunge. Step it through. Inhale, pyramid. Shorten and widen your stance. Plant your back heel and straighten your front leg. Find your blocks. Press into your front foot. Scissor your thighs together. If you want to bring it into your runner's stretch, bring a block at a 45-degree angle under your front foot. One more inhale. Exhale, remove the block from under your foot. Step your back foot back a little. Keep your legs straight. Inhale, triangle, open up to the side. We came at this from a low position, so lengthen your spine. Rotate your shoulders. Fire up those obliques. Look up. If you're prone to hyperextension, keep a slight bend in your front knee. On your next inhale, come up through Warrior 2. Bend your front knee. And then exhale, half moon facing the back of your mat. Shift your weight forward. Grab a block. I feel like sometimes in yoga we want certainty. We want to be the same as we were yesterday or 5 years ago. We want one side to be the same as the other. But the truth is, things are always changing. Using that knowledge can be comforting. It takes the pressure off today. It gives us hope for tomorrow. One more inhale. Exhale, step back into Warrior 2. Land lightly. Inhale, star. Burst open, facing the front. Toes point to the corners. Fire up your glutes to open your hips. Big breath in. And exhale into goddess. Palms face the sky. Elbows bent. Can you open your knees and elbows even more? Reach your heart forward. Catch your breath, sink your hips lower. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Parallel your feet. Straighten your legs and fold forward. Shift your weight into the balls of your feet. Traction your heels away from each other. Open twist to the top of your mat. Reach your right hand across, grab your shin, left arm high. Lengthen and twist. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Other side, twisting to the bottom of your mat. We're warmer now. Can you twist a little deeper? One more breath in. Exhale, release. Pivot your heels in. Circle your arms up to star. Now start to shift your weight towards the top of your mat and come into one-legged mountain at the top of your mat, facing front. Right knee lifted. Strong arms. Exhale. Figure 4 on the other side. Cross your ankle over your thigh, hands to your heart. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Get balanced. And you can take a forward fold. You can stay here. Or you can start to hinge forward. Lower your hips. Keep your spine long, your heart lifted. Don't spill any of that water from the bucket between your legs. Then on your next inhale, rise up with control and lower your leg. Take a steeple grip. Interlace your fingers, release your pointers, get tall. Exhale, side bend towards the middle of your mat. Keep your shoulders facing forward, biceps by your ears. One more breath in, think of the crescent moon. Exhale, top shoulder reaches forward. Feel how that moves into the edge of your back. Inhale, open. And rise up, lengthen. And bend away from the center of your mat. Look up past your armpit. And exhale. Send your top shoulder forward. Keep both arms active, feet grounded. Inhale, open back up. And rise up to the top. Release your grip. Circle your arms down. Reconnect with that full moon energy. Prayer hands at the top. Interlace your thumbs, lengthen. And exhale, circle it down. Notice how this is different now as we're nearing the end of this flow, as it was at the beginning when our shoulders weren't warm yet. Lengthen and fold. Come back up to the top one more time. Prayer hands. Lengthen. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes. Samastitihi. Take 3 rounds of breath, focusing on the exhales as you ground down through your feet to grow taller. And open your eyes, release your hands. come down to a seat for some core and a drink of water. Whew. That was a lovely long flow. I hope you felt the moon energy. So since we did most of our flowing up front, we just have core and stretching left. After you have your sip of water, let's meet in Shavasana for a minute and just lie down on your back, just like we started. Close your eyes, let your body get heavy, and assimilate all that moon energy from our flow. This next quote refers to impermanence in relationships when we expect people to always be the same. It's by Heidi Priebe. To love someone long-term is to attend 1,000 funerals of the people they used to be. The people they're too exhausted to be any longer, the people they grew out of, the people they never ended up growing into. We so badly want the people we love to get their spark back when it burns out and to become speedily found when they are lost. But it is not our job to hold anyone accountable to the people they used to be. It is our job to travel with them between each version and to honor what emerges along the way. Sometimes it will be an even more luminescent flame, and sometimes it will be a flicker that disappears and temporarily floods the room with a perfect and necessary darkness. Take one more big inhale here. Then activate your legs, rotate your toes in, flex your feet. Lift your shoulders and head and reach your arms forward. This is a hollow body posture. You can stay right here, or you can point your toes and hover your heels off the floor. Another shape of a crescent moon. Keep reaching forward, belly drawn in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, squeeze your knees into your chest. Maybe rock side to side. And set your legs long up to the sky. Flex your feet. Then hover your shoulders and head. Reach your hands high for dead bugs. Send your left leg and right arm overhead. Extend. Come back through center. Opposite arm and leg. See if you can start moving them rhythmically. Keep your lower back glued onto the floor. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Squeeze your knees to your heart. Take a couple of deep exhales. Then hold the back of your thighs, rock and roll up. And come into tabletop. Grab a block. Place the block between your glute and your heel. Maybe on the medium setting, maybe on the long setting. Hold it tight and pulse. Keep your hips level. Keep squeezing that block. If you drop it, no problem. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Send that same leg diagonally behind you. And then lean into your side body. Just feel a nice stretch and release. And come back to tabletop for the other side. Block between your right heel and glute. And pulse. The more you squeeze that block, the more it fires up your hamstring and your glute. Tiny pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Remove your block and come to a seat facing the top of your mat. Come into staff pose. Hands by your sides, point your toes. Feel the extension and activation of the front of your legs and the flexion and circulation in the back of your legs. A big breath in. And then exhale, flex your feet and open and close your toes. On the inhale, reach your arms high. And exhale, fold forward. Bring your right hand outside your left shin. Hold on to it. Then rainbow your other arm up, diagonally back. So you're twisting towards the top of your mat. Lengthen your spine, then rotate deeper. Big breath in. Exhale, release. Walk your hands to the right corner. Press down into your fingertips and lower your opposite hip down. Stay for a breath in. Then exhale, come down onto your elbows. Lift your top leg, swing it back and point it. And swing it forward as much as you can, flexing your foot. So we're creating another half moon shape here, swinging it back, flexing it forward. Excuse me. One more time. Then this time, rise up, capture that foot in your arms, cradle it and rock. You can take any grip that supports you right now. Just rock your baby. Then hold it with one arm and interlace your fingers into your toes. Circle out your ankle. This is another great ankle stretch for runners. Then switch arms, hold it with the other arm. Bring your left hand onto the floor. Lower down to your elbow for a piriformis massage. Find the part of your hip that feels the most tender and just roll it out with subtle movements. On your next inhale, rise back up. Plant your foot outside your thigh and twist towards the top of your mat. Left hand behind you, right elbow outside your thigh. Look over your shoulder, then bring the weight out of your hand and into your hips as you root down. Bring out your internal organs. One more breath in. And exhale, release. Other side. Circle your arms up. And fold forward. Bring your left hand outside your right shin this time. Circle your other arm back diagonally. Use your grip to help deepen your twist. Draw your top shoulder down your back. Big breath in. Exhale, release. Walk your hands to the left corner. Press into your fingertips and send your opposite hip down. Stay for a breath in. And then exhale, come down to your forearms. Swing your top leg back. Point your toe. And then forward with a flex. Back and point. Forward and flex. One more time. Next time it comes forward, rise up. Capture that leg with your arms. Cradle it and rock. Let your extended leg ground down. Press it into the earth to support your balance. Keep your spine long, your neck long. Then interlace your fingers and your toes and circle out your ankle. One way and then the other. And switch out your grip. Come down onto your right elbow. For your piriformis massage, once again, find that tender spot and linger there. Give yourself some self-love, a little self-massage. If it feels intense, know that that won't last forever. Because in one more round of breath, we're going to rise back up. Plant your foot outside your thigh and twist towards the bottom of your mat. Left elbow outside your thigh. Keep your extended leg grounded, foot flexed. Lengthen as you twist. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Face the top of your mat. Extend your legs long and slowly lower down. Draw your right knee to your chest. Point your left toes. Hover your heel off the floor. Super active legs. Squeeze your knee in. And then exhale, release your heel down, supine twist. Gaze to the right as your knee goes to the left. Glue your shoulders down. A big breath in. And unwind to other side. Right leg long, left leg in. Hover your heel. Point your toe. Squeeze your knee in. Feel the constriction in your hip. Big breath in. Exhale, release your long leg, supine twist. Find length on your top side body. Draw your hip away from your face. And big breath in. Exhale, release. Draw both knees into your chest, full wind removing pose, forehead to knee. Biggest inhale of the day. And exhale into Shavasana. Back from whence we came. Wrap your shoulder blades underneath you to create a shelf for your heart. Shoulders and hips open, feet fall out to the side. Reconnect with your exhales and let your surrender be sweet. I'm going to close today with a quote by James Baldwin. Life is tragic simply because the earth turns and the sun inexorably rises and sets. And one day, for each of us, the sun will go down for the last time. Perhaps the whole root of our trouble, the human trouble, is that we sacrifice all the beauty of our lives. We will imprison ourselves in totems, taboos, crosses, blood sacrifices, steeples, mosques, races, armies, flags, nations, in order to deny the fact of death, which is the only fact we have. It seems to me that one ought to rejoice in the fact of death, ought to decide, indeed, to earn one's death by confronting with passion the conundrum of life. As you begin to wake up your body, notice what arrives and what departs. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle out your ankles and your wrists. Let your head fall to one side and then to the other. Take a long good morning stretch. Point your toes, arms overhead, big breath in. And exhale into fetal pose on your favorite side. Cozy in, use your bicep as a pillow. This week, set the intention to become aware of impermanence in your life. Maybe you'll notice it when your pen runs out of ink, or a conversation ends, or a feeling passes. Noticing those little instances of impermanence can get us comfortable with the big and small ebbs and flows of life. On your next inhale, rise up to a comfortable seat on your mat with as little movement as possible. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a breath in through your nose and an open mouth exhale. Bring your hands to third eye center. The light, the love, the teacher, the student, and the hot mess in me recognizes and adores the light, the love, the teacher, the student, and the hot mess in each of you. Namaste. Well, all good things must come to an end, but luckily next week there's more good to follow, so I hope to see you then at Be Free Yoga. Thank you.